Number 5. Gancanagh. Gancanagh is also known as the Love Talker. They are male fairies and they like company. They seem to be easily lonely creatures that wants a lot of sex. They like the attention, they like giving attention, but when they get bored, that's it. Goodbye fair maiden that got seduced. The Gancanagh are said to be a relative of the Leprechauns and Pluricons, but they are much more handsome and cunning rather than looking drunk or like a prankster. They were always seen sporting a clay or wooden pipe which they never actually use, probably to look manlier or cooler. They have the power to cast a spell on the woman they're interested in to somehow make them seem like the man of their dreams. Like I said earlier, they like company. They like to hang out with other males no matter what species and tell raunchy jokes or stories about their deed. With women, once a Gancanagh found a girl they find interesting, he would stalk the woman and listen in on her innermost thoughts and desires. He would then magically appear in front of the woman in the most flattering pose and appearance the girl desired in a man, making it seem like it's a dream. The woman would then be speechless and would start holding her hand out as if to confirm that the man posing there, the man that magically appeared there, is real. That is actually a trap because once their skin is touched, just once, the woman would then be madly obsessed with the Gancanagh, giving him access to do whatever he wants with the woman. Of course, once the Gancanagh got bored, he would literally disappear from the woman's life, but the woman would still be under his spell and would die from a broken heart. Number 4. Sluagh. The Sluagh are spirits of the dead that are trapped on earth, not able to move on. They travel in groups, flying like a flock of deadly shadowy birds, seeking for souls to join them in their journey of nowhere, because those that becomes the Sluagh will forever be stuck, roaming the earth with no purpose other than making other souls suffer along with them. They are said to always fly from the west, so some Irish families would keep their west-facing windows shut to stop the Sluagh from entering their home, especially when someone is dying. Though they don't just target those who are dying or those who wishes to die. Maybe because of jealousy, even the healthy and happy could get their souls taken. Also, apparently, I shouldn't have said their name because that's one way for them to target you. Number 3. Changelings. This is more of a European folklore rather than Irish specifically, as stories of them could be found in Ireland, the British Isles, Germany, Scandinavia, and Spain. Stories of the creatures varies from region to region, but the creatures in these stories are definitely the same. A changeling is a fairy that is exchanged with a human baby or child. So if you see your child changing into something different, such as unusual facial features, darker skinned, has deformed limbs, has unrelenting crying, or even wanting breast milk all the time, the baby might have been changed with a changeling, or the child is just sick and has some sort of developmental or congenital disorders, but I digress. For the sake of this video, let's just say that it is definitely a changeling. Now, babies that are at risk of being changed are usually beautiful ones, as fairies are said to be attracted to beauty and music. Apparently, fairy babies are not beautiful and usually deformed. Note that the word fairy, F-A-E-R-I-E, is not limited to the small cute creatures with wings, but it has a more wider meaning, like yokai. Sometimes, they don't exchange the human child with their own. Rather, they would change with a sick member of their family of any age in hopes of getting nursed back to health. So having a changeling was said to bring bad luck to the household, as the changeling would be a good-for-nothing, trick-loving and sickly child. But they do have one interesting quality, which is having an affinity to music and get crazy good with a musical instrument. There are several methods for revealing or even returning the changelings. Some are pretty sick, as it could actually kill the child if they made a mistake. Some of the dangerous methods includes holding the child over a hot stove or the fireplace, and the other is by holding the child underwater. This is to shock the changeling into sensing danger and leaving the household. Another way is by confusing the changeling by doing things weirdly, such as cooking in an eggshell, to get them so confused by your actions, it would be tempted to talk and blow their cover. Number 2. Leanan Sidhe. We could say they're a bit like the Gancanagh in that they have humans as lovers. They are beautiful fairy women and has a soft spot for artists. Leanan Sidhe craves love from them, so with her beauty and love, she becomes the artist's muse at the cost of her sucking the life force out of the man, causing premature death. Even if she leaves the man early, the man would be lost without his inspiration and might fall in despair, causing him to commit suicide or die because of heartbreak. So you can never break the death curse once you fall in love with a Leanan Sidhe or when a Leanan Sidhe falls in love with you. Anyways, the Leanan Sidhe reminds me of the manga called The Ancient Magus' Bride or Mahotsukai no Yome. If you like manga and mythological creatures, I think you'd like it. The Leanan Sidhe was featured in a couple of chapters in it, that's why it reminded me of the manga. Number 1. Balor, King of the Fomorians. He was a deadly one, the demonic one-eyed god of death or the evil king. So rather than a normal creature, he was more of a mythical monster. He was the head, chief or king of the demonic race called the Fomorians. The Fomorians are supernatural beings of demonic giants. They are said to have come from the seas and are known to have darker skin. They are said to not be in Ireland anymore and have went back to the sea. Now, Balor looks like a cyclops being a giant with an eye on his forehead, but that eye is said to be deadly, and he actually has another eye on the back of his head. He always keeps the eye on his forehead closed because if he opens them, whoever or whatever he sees will die. Some legend says that Balor covered his eye with 7 layers of cloth or cloaks, and by taking the cloaks off one by one could bring different kinds of destruction. With the last one gone, the whole land will be on fire. Apparently, Balor got the demonic eye by accident. When he was young, curiosity got the best of him. He was looking at his father's druid secretly while they were studying or manifesting some death spells. The fumes from the spell got into Balor's eye and it never left him, giving his eye the power to kill. Currently, Balor is dead, killed by his grandson Sluagh, who managed to smash his eye using a slingshot during battle.